morning, everyone. I thought I would show you all what my garden is looking like, and I also am going to do a separate video on updates to the chicken coop that we've done. I don't even know if I ever really did a full review of the chicken coop, but I'm going to walk around the garden here. It is morning time. Fisher's not up yet, and I just watered, and I thought I would go ahead and walk around. I'll have to keep my eye on the chickens though, because they're a little feisty this morning. My rooster's down here checking me out. We still have some wearing on the grass and like some divots and stuff. These shallower divots are from when we ran an electrical line out to the chicken coop, and then there are some deeper divots here outside the garden gate that my husband used a bobcat to bring some mulch in here, and it was wet and it sunk down. So I'm gonna sneak in here and try and get some stuff, but my rooster's a little watchful of his chickens, so I have to be careful of him. Don't want to irritate him at all. And I'm just gonna sneak around this way, and I'm sorry about the lighting. It's morning time, so the sun is where it is. I'll try and get some good pictures for you. Oh, you'll have to ignore that. But over here we planted some onions, and you can see there are a couple coming up there. And we did red, white, and yellow. I did some under the ground. The red, white, and yellow we did under the ground. And then the ones that are above the ground a little bit, we got those at Home Depot, and they're the Bonnie Bell ones. They're the non-GMO ones. And here's the monitor, and it's driving him crazy. They are sweet and super sweet. I can't remember which ones we planted where, to be honest with you, but this whole bed is onions, with the exception of between these two sets of super sweets. These are also sweets, super sweets. We planted here a couple rows of radishes, which I just noticed this morning. Right there, they're starting to come up. We just did the seeds there, so. But those are starting to come up. I didn't want to do too many radishes just because I like them with hummus and a little bit in our salads, and maybe in like a mixed salad with some feta cheese and stuff, but we don't eat a lot of radishes, so. But the onions we tie up after they're ready to be pulled. We tie them up, we dry them, and we store them in our basement, and they last all winter long, which is really nice. So that's the first bed. I'll take you over here. And this is peppers, and we have all different kinds. I'll show you here. This is a Mannheim pepper. It's a little bit of a spicier pepper. We did have some late frost. It's not really late frost. We planted early. So we did have to cover some up, but you can see on the tops that they did get just a teeny bit damaged. So the same with the tomatoes that I'll show you, but they still look like they're going to be able to make it. So I'm just kind of going with it. This is a poblano or an ancho pepper. This one here is a carmine pepper. We just got all these, like I said, this is just Bonnie plants that we got at Home Depot. A yellow bell pepper, which we didn't get any of those last year. They just were green, so. And a red bell pepper, just a sweet pepper. Over on the other side, this is a mammoth jalapeno, which you can see on the top there, just a teeny bit of damage. A hot banana pepper, which looks a little sad. This is a Cubanelle, which is actually a sweet pepper, but they're like smaller sweet peppers. And this is just a green bell pepper. It's just a little guy. And then over here on this side of the bed, We did green beans. We actually just did 2 rows of green beans, and then what we'll do is we left this empty and we kind of plant a couple more rows like later in the year, so that way we get them all year. But we did 2 rows of beans. I don't see any of those sprouting up yet, so I'll have to come back and update you guys once these plants start to mature. But that is the second bed. I guess I'll do all 4 corners first. Okay, so here we have, let's see, we have beets here. They have started to sprout up. You can see some there. There's also some there. You know, just all over. They're starting to sprout up, so that's very exciting. I still have some frozen in my freezer from last year. We also have carrots. We have 2 kinds. We have the regular carrots and then a smaller, shorter, fatter carrot. I actually didn't think these were coming up, but I just looked again and you can see right here we have some coming up, so that's exciting. If you guys are wondering about this fencing, we keep this up so that the chickens don't jump in the beds and destroy everything that we have. We also have here about 4 rows of leeks. Some of those don't look very nice just because of the frost that we had, but we're just kind of letting them go and see what happens. And then we also have here at the end some Swiss chard, which you can see there. It's coming up. We did that from seed. My chickens love Swiss chard, and a lot of these greens and things I'll be giving to the chickens. So that is this corner bed. Now we'll move over to this corner. Okay, so over in this bed we have, this is most of our like lettucey type items. We do have the Swiss chard in the other bed, but it just kind of fit there. So we have some green lettuce. This is supposed to be an iceberg lettuce, but it is coming up more like a leaf lettuce, so I'm not really sure how that'll end up, but it's looking good so far. One in the corner there is just kind of fizzling out. I don't know if it's just not thriving or if something's getting it. Also have here some red lettuce, red leaf lettuce. It's just a leaf lettuce. I like that mixed in with my salads or just on a sandwich. So here in the corner we have romaine, which I don't think is sprouted up yet. Last year that turned out beautifully, and we had it in this spot. We tried to kind of move things around this year so that the things we planted last year weren't in the same spot. I don't know, it's just something I read that they might do better, so especially onions. So anyway, we ended up planting it in exactly the same spot, but it turned out really beautifully last year, so I'm hoping that it turns out this year. We also did a bunch of kale, which my chickens will love. It's looking very nice so far. And then finally here in the end we have Brussels sprouts. We love Brussels sprouts, and they all look like they're doing good. So those take quite a while to finish. So it'll pretty much take the whole year to finish up. Okay, then I'll take you around to the 2 middle beds that we have. This is our tomato bed. We have all different kinds of tomatoes, but I do have to apologize because they're looking really, really sad. I don't know if they're going to make it. If you guys have any suggestions, if I should cut off certain parts of it or maybe just the parts that were damaged, maybe they'll do better, but I'm not very hopeful for some of them. This one, for instance, is just, we covered them all up, but I don't know, I guess the frost just got to them. These are called a Rutgers heirloom tomato. Most of the tomatoes we tried to get were heirloom. This is a Roma tomato, which still looks pretty good. I mean, there's like a little spot here that I could probably cut off, but it looks pretty good other than that. We also have here a Cherokee purple heirloom tomato. This was like actual purple tomatoes, which looked really neat. I think someone's laying an egg, so This here is, yeah, okay, so we did, I think it was 4 or 5 of these. They're called Mr. Stripeys, and they're an heirloom tomato. They're the heirloom tomatoes that are like, they have stripes on them, kind of like they're striated with different colors. We did 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, I believe. There's another one there, 2 more there, which that one just does not even look like it's gonna make it. And then this is a pink Brandywine heirloom tomato. So, and then this here is like a ketchup tomato. It's like a Roma tomato that's called a Heinz Classic. Someone's checking me out. Hi. And then this here is a cherry tomato. So it's called a Husky Red cherry tomato. So in the second middle bed, I have asparagus. I actually thought this was ruined because my husband tilled this entire bed and forgot about the asparagus down here. But as you can see, he must not have gotten down all the way to the root system, which is great. So I have tons of asparagus, and my father-in-law was actually here and tried some of it, and he said it was delicious. But I think I might still let some of it go. I mean, I might pull some of it, like some of these ones that are a little fatter, and then let the skinnier ones go to seed. But there's also some little ones here and here, so I'm just kind of letting it go. But we just basically did, you know, from like here over was the asparagus. So I'm glad that it's still coming up, because that takes a little while to get where you want it to. We also did some basil by seed and some cilantro by seed in here. I don't know how well it's going to turn up. We also did 2 basil plants which got attacked by the frost, so I read that I should clip off the stuff that got attacked by the frost, and it looks like it's doing okay, like it might be coming back. We also did some dill, some rosemary, and some lavender in the garden. I have some additional plants that I will go over and show you now. I actually have here 2 blueberry plants. This is one, and I know you can't really tell, but they do have little leaves on them. This is another one which did have leaves on it, but I think that the chickens are eating the leaves off of it, so I'm gonna have to put some wire around them. I just haven't done it yet. And we got those like on clearance at Home Depot last year for like 99 cents. We had to move them. They were over there, and we had the electric line run into the chicken coop over there, so we had to pull them up and put them into pots. Well, they sat in these pots all winter, and I was like, oh, they probably didn't make it. Well, I looked at them a couple weeks ago when we were planting the garden, and I saw these little buds on them, and I was like, oh, I got all excited. So I told my husband, let's go ahead and plant them. So we planted them right there. So yeah, and they seem to be doing pretty well. So over here, my herbs, I have spearmint and chocolate mint. I planted them last year, and I thought they would be coming back, and I put some new dirt on top, but they aren't really coming back yet, so I don't really know what to do. Can you let me know if you have container mints? I thought they would come back, but and whether or not they'll come back. Same thing here, I have sweet mint, and it is not coming back either yet. Maybe it will, but I also planted 2 kinds of thyme, some German thyme and some lemon thyme, 2 kinds of oregano, Greek, and whatever else the other one is, I don't remember. Some dill, which the chickens play with, and it's growing back more, but this thyme actually made it from last year, and I didn't know that it would, but I let it go, and it's looking really nice. And then here was parsley that I just bought and planted this year, and the chickens have eaten every single bit of it. So I guess I'll have to go buy more parsley. Okay. So I will come over here, and I'll just give you a little overview of the garden. So that's the gate we first came into. That's my house, and this is the garden setup. So we have the 4 corners and then the 2 beds in the middle. You know, we want to do more. We want to do another square one there, like a strawberry patch, and another whole separate bed just to plant herbs in rather than doing them in containers. But takes, you know, it's a lot of money to build these and time for my husband. And so, and the chickens kind of graze in here all day. We have the fencing put up around it so they can't get into the beds, and they eat all the bugs, and it's great. So, so that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour, and I'll try and come back when some of our plants have gotten a little more mature and you can see what they look like in the middle stages.